You need something different. You don't have the right. You're too low on scrap. It's cleanly cut. It's the Chugyard. This box once tailed a chugger. Now it's just off track. It's a bit less black out there. Look at that, right in the Chugyard. Follow the rails and you'll find all sorts of little treasures scattered all over the place. Who do you think? You're not the first wanderer in these parts. Good work finding that track. They can teach you so much about the world. Keep looking for more. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Bonkers busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Half-life. Close encounter.
Blast again. Right.
Let's see. The plague that's ruining the land needs to be stopped. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. You have a chance to change the future for good or bad. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle.
Dog.
Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart.
Sit up. Junie, start now.
But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal.
Hello. Junie, start now.
He hopes you remember that one time he taught you to upcycle, and hopes you've had some use for it over the years. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he doesn't think of the past, for it's gone. He understands history made Lupa Lupin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo understands you still have strong feelings, but urges you to keep them under control. You've witnessed firsthand what it'll lead to.
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
Sometimes your gut is flat out wrong.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You are number one.
Even the dark knows you're better than this.
Stick with me. We'll rule the world.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Supposes that's all any of us can do. Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seemed so centered and so seeking. Thinks that's more than most are. It's hard to keep to a path like that. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone. So you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. It's the part of the land that suffered most from the apocalypse. It's deprived of oxygen, making it next to impossible for anything but creatures that were most contorted by the contamination. This story needs a hero. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. So bright out now. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. That'll come in handy. That's a Jagni tribe outpost. was happy to find that. This is turning out to be quite an expedition. The tree's going to bleed death from its roots if you keep taking her for granted. So, says you covered the important things already. Says your follower is a fascinating piece of metal. Says you should take it easy. Sad that you try to nest with others. Heard that the Jagni tribe's constantly looking for new recruits to fill their ranks. Understands you have other places you need to go. Get under that sky while you still can. Let's see.
Wo freaking flau zimbunta?
Says it's time to set the outpost free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to the rival captain.
Legenyoba malebo. Mayokol kol male.
If you can, you should try to convince the captain to give up the outpost and join your cause.
Wo freaking flau zimbunta?
They're ready to enter the outpost when you are.
Litso sao ka.
Every step you take towards your end goal will bring you closer to a better world. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. Wrecked it. That twirly wheel works that drain pipe. Spin the twirly wheel and open that drain. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Everything's clocking together. Could be this key. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. They never lost hope you'd come, but weren't sure if they'd last long enough to see it. Says the tribe's been hard on them. Won't hesitate to carve out some revenge on those who hurt them. A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Better stay clear of the red ray. Here's the second line of defense. sense danger. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it. Then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks explode. Shoot it and watch it blow. Kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger.
Again.
Says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You've earned the privilege of carrying the tribe's weapon. Figures the honor belongs to the tribe, too. Sure is dark out. You can last longer. Shopkeeper claims you won't be able to find better goods anywhere else. Wants you to know you won't find a better deal anywhere else. green in the bank. A sealed deal. That's a gnote. Easy prey for Lupin. For everyone else, they're a perfect mount and easily tamed if they are kept fed. This won't be a field trip. It's the real thing. Best part of a mount? No need to refuel. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. Now you understand better. The end is coming to the world, and everything up. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it. This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
Those are the kind of things you need. That's a myriad tribe outpost. Now that's a flesh wound. That's going to be slicing dice. The Vespidat Outpost, longtime home of the Myriad tribe. Don't get distracted by all the destruction you can see this time of day. Let's see. There's news of a Ronin joining the tribe. That must be you.
Ein Ouch alla Giuge.
Shopkeeper claims you won't be able to find better goods anywhere else.
Vägga jag bakju.
Says this is the go-to place if you like a good deal. The vendor says you can browse his goods anytime during opening hours. Says you came to the right place. They only stock products of the finest quality. Says the shop holds something for everyone, especially you. Says there's usually a line, but today's your lucky day. Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. Feel that wind on your skin? Feels good on you? It's relaxer clock somewhere.
Libuma limana.
The tree looks pristine, but we must treat it better to keep it that way.
Zulahada.
Says you should take it easy. Easy to get lost here. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Thinks it's awful how you can't find good pastries anymore. Sure, Lump makes some wild things, but the taste and how they treat you when you eat them, oh, no thanks. Figures they'll fill your belly, at least. Says the rumor is, Lump's baked goods can do all sorts of strange things to you. They've never been brave enough to try his craziest creations. If you're desperate enough to give them a go, good for you. Says there's nothing Lump likes to talk about more. Lots of notices on the board for things that made sense in the days when the surf was a lot cleaner. Interesting to see what they cared about here. Wonder if any of it matters now. In the old days, this was a port for boats that went under the surf. They helped clog the surf into goo. Toxanol didn't do it on purpose, I don't think. Their machines made a mess, though, and they never cleaned up after themselves. You should be able to find a track here. Just need to keep your eyes open. This is an epic already. How it ends is up to you. Let's see. Hey, you found the track, even around all this goopy goo. Nothing escapes your googly eye. The surf here looked cleaner when that track was made. It wasn't easy to peer through the surf, but there are eye-box tapes on record that shows they knew what kind of mutated creatures their contamination had created. Glad you had the patience to learn more about how the surf got gooed.
Yango. Azetawa. Kandwa.
Lexicon.
Bauta sare dunokwana.
Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days.
Kitenko.
Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim.
Marco.
Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was.
Tuanako.
He knows he's easy to remember. There's no one out there as cuckoo as him. He's one of a kind.
Yatu puwila wingi.
Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again.
Vadivi.
He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years.
Chugyard.
He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the...
Laisate manu.
He understands why you seek revenge, but he doesn't think you realize how that'll make you feel once you claimed it.
Take that light.
Really, you ought to use your head instead of your gut.
See? The darkness lets you get away with anything.
Just remember, you can always find light in the dark.
Dark. When you already know you're right.
Pawagwika.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like?
Manlo bitni.
Hit the open surf then. The trouble is you can only rely on yourself, at least until you reach a new shore and make new friends.
Wanakanwako rapiki.
Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo.
Tinosniwakni.
Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf.
Manlo bitni. Laisate manu.
Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf.
Ti.
Claims he didn't say that out loud.
Yatu puwila.
But hey, back to the goo.
Navidivani lexicon.
Rapiki.
Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now.
Azetawa mavaniko saruya.
He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit. So you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside.
Mavaniko tuntwa azimbotalante.
You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff.
It's
not that it won't keep your head above the surface, but it needs improving to carry you across the thick goo out by the Porky Puff. Better get a move on if you want to change things. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Flash the slash. Stand another hour of daylight. Everyone loves a good hat. your health. Sharp. Feeling better. gross. This place stinks. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. There's a lot on the line here.
Mukam. Sairuya. Tirami kantuale yangu.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out.
Awali.
Adivi.
Kantuale.
There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots.
Awali kate niyo anyana. Chaida.
Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position.
Kate niyo anyana. Kate niyo anyana.
The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float.
Tutwa.
This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks.
Avanya mavaniko.
Navaidivani.
He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler and mostly keeps to himself and his drink. Ready to jet. Welcome to the Surf Archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. Don't flinch away from this. It's your moment. You need to focus. There are places a goo glide can't go. Rubber scrap, great for when you need a bit of flex. Hold on tight. Open it up and see what it's got. You're poking around Pockbur, a prime village. Says the tribe Sifu sent them here to help defend against the rival tribe that's been terrorizing their village. Isn't sure how long the village will last if it continues. As if the plague ruining the land and destroying the crops wasn't enough to bring the village to its knees already. That's what they call the blight that's been haunting the land since the old world ended in the apocalypse around here.
Inua, Opalolo.
The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do.
Kanteone.
Has plenty to do, so no worries. Better shake a leg. Yours, theirs, whatever.
Iguahish enkum lebulama zazu ahalu.
Argues that it's hard to know what's happening. The world is crumbling so fast.
Maluala muhu mushumoga.
One person who might know better is that bookworm, Sol.
Akutunk onlen ashwek wanianqua.
He likes his alone time, though, and wanders in the cluppy dunes to get it.
For Nguenya ushfutwatu la ara.
Thinks you should look for the books first. Books in cluppy dunes might be an even better bet.
Ututsak.
Claims the last they saw Sol, he was headed into that dune heat.
Ututsak.
Figures no one will bother him there.
Ututsak.
Can't say he's all that wrong about that.
Tala weather. Mihuebule.
Says that's the right way to think about know-how. Shopkeeper claims you won't be able to find better goods anywhere else. Can sense you want to practice your skills at bartering. Let's see. Wonder what's all the way out there at the edge of the surf. It's going to take a bit of scavenging to come up with scrap for that. You make that work. It's a game of life, yours and everyone else's.
Tatuta. Dalitalitot.
Claims to have strange things from the dead zone that are so rare they need to be seen to be believed.
Legenyula malebo. La rakoltit.
Hopes your custom is worthwhile. Would be disappointing if you walked away empty-handed. At least you're not coming out of this empty-handed. Days are scarce. Don't waste them. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least.
Ja!
Let's see.
Toleneasut.
Asks if you know Wiz, the one who builds the octopod.
Ciao, Tit.
Wishes you goodbye. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Points out that he's hungry too, but always thirsty for more. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the Myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you. Says he sells them drinks. They mostly suck them down on their own. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favorite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportional to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. It makes most dumber, but that's his special burden to bear. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. They're better at floating than flapping, so you should be able to net a few without growing yourself a pair of wings. Grab that steerer tight. Nothing like gilding the glider. Don't know what that e-waste was. Stories only survive if someone is listening, so pay attention. It's a rare sight. Treasure it. Wildlife here is teetering on the brink of extinction. We all are. The meat-eater again. Nothing seems to satiate his hunger. The note is done for unless you intervene. That feels better. Itchy trigger finger. You're galvanized. Flying fists. Try to be friends with the beast. Looks like some solid wood scrap there. Some sharp wood scrap there. Watch for splinters. Wiser than ever. How high can you go? When a story comes to you, pay attention. This is Hobbydunk, a homey little village. Control your destiny, or someone else will. That might come in handy. The story will go on as long as there is someone there to listen. Let's see.
Men har nu dahi morgenlevel.
Offers you extraordinary prices for extraordinary things.
Tulu tulaledre malwala muhu mushmoga.
Says you're in good company. Everyone needs a good deal. Don't get ripped off. New stuff. That went well. Don't trip over what you can't see.
Egutula moati. Egualo oturatak.
Figures the only thing you can still count on as the world ends is the night sky twinkles.
No bitot rayun.
Their pal Nova studies them from atop a lookout tower.
Zramdu gurin.
Used to watch them with her pops, but he's missing now.
Wena wehe wele.
Thinks she's atop her tower every night at least.
Yanayo kalun. I could think only.
Says you should look for Nova's tower and chat with her.
Yanayo kalun.
The tower can be hard to see after dark, but it's worth it.
Egu on the hanu.
Maybe you can help find her pops.
Sonotele mela.
Knew they could count on you. The night could be fun. Cries about how the Lotus Captain killed their kidling. They want to even things, but the Lotus Captain's too mighty. Wonders if you might be a real hero kind. Thinks the Looper Lupin would eat anything, maybe even you. You should be able to find the Lotus Captain, always around the other Lotus.
Masha kuruni ona ikubu.
Wants you to take down that lotus captain forever time.
La unimisalawanishing red shades lucky.
Figures only you have the power to hold that captain's noggin.
La oribimbure.
Seems content with that. Maybe a little weepy. Wonders how something as eternal as the Tree of Life could ever die. Says in the past times most would kill time watching moving pictures in the eye box. Claims to have seen a working eye box somewhere around here. Believes it uses recordings of things to make stories. Like a book, but with pictures. Believes the eye box only works if you fix it first. Which makes sense. You gotta mess with the dials to get the eye box kicking again. Otherwise, the eye box will just sit there, quiet and blind. Says they'd love to see more of it. It's shockingly dark out there. Wonders if anyone will still make music right up till the Tree of Life keels over. There's a twing twang to be found not too far away. Was Punky Funk's once. A decent twing twang could be the start of a lot of fun. Figures they were killed by bandits. Been gone a while now. Believes the twing twang isn't too far off. Just got to find it. Be careful with the twing twang when you find it. A good one's a real treasure. Then you can start up a tune fest. Figures there's always a buyer for an unbusted twing twang. Listen to all that night noise. Says that it was a toy bot like that for sale at the market once. The vendor says you can browse his goods anytime during... Hopes you're selling too. They're always looking to replenish their store. such a dark night. It's darkest between the stars. That part made a decent pile of scrap. You can make something from that.
Tulu tremutulia.
Thinks the end of the world is a lot quieter than it should be, especially without their best pals.
Că tulu madru tulu uchuru. Dalatema dalatai.
There's a string plonk not too far from here. Would make beautiful music.
La zabatiobel plarike prikjoa.
Seems like a shame to let a decent string plonk sit around unplayed.
Tui tapletsia tuossete demeso.
Says Funk Punk and his band pal Punk Funk got killed while on the road.
Prat tiknopap.
Maybe if you listen for the string plonk, you might hear someone playing it. Or not.
Atrulneuma trajo. Edro chodibu.
Once you find the string plonk, be careful with it. Aren't too many of those around.
Iljapkap rev grejab.
Funk Punk's been missing so long. Hope you find it.
Dro eku udadrea.
Figures someone would pay you for it.
Tulu yui hupfiene. Ingan wow.
Says some realize the world is ending and can't stop listening to the clock ticking.
Faye yubu.
Click is one of those. He wants to unlock every door in the world.
Ingan wow. Wabe pamawa.
If he wants to do that before the doors are all gone, he'd better hurry.
Wabe pamawa. Litsulu tuila usak.
Guesses he doesn't care. He's more about the locks than the loot.
Wabe pamawa. Dalada nobdatut.
Says if you want to find Click, you should look for him, well, anywhere. No, really, that's what it's called. The place he set up shop.
Fayapi tuab.
Eventually, he'll show up to try to open them.
Tatayu betawata.
He's in even more of a hurry than you are.
Yudelui yuktone.
Says he might tell you, if he knows. There's not much left of what we used to call our world. Has no doubt you've earned the trust and support of this village. Actions speak louder than words. You did good here.
Nia, Diobo.
Is always willing to listen. You did good here. Says you'll meet again. You can see so much farther in the light.